Welcome to Exploration Overland. My name is Zach, and today, guys, we are out here in the Woolsey Peaks area just west of Phoenix, and it has been an absolutely fun journey so far exploring this area. But this journey did not start here. No, it did not. So let's rewind and get back to when it began. Good morning, guys. It is early. Not as early as you'd think. It's only like 7 o'clock. Beautiful sunrise, though. We are out here in the Buckeye area. We are going to explore in the Woolsey Peak area today. I'm very excited. And we got up early because tomorrow, Lindsay and I go back to Colorado. So I wanted to get some wheeling in one more time before we had to pack up. So today I'm starting much earlier than I have been, so I can wheel for about half the day. Then I can go back to my mom's house and we can start the whole packing process and getting ready for our departure tomorrow. But that is the goal. So I'm all aired down, and I apologize that the camera's shaking, but I'm all aired down, so let's get going.
Our journey begins on the Agua Caliente Road, which you'll take for just a little over a mile before you turn off into this stunning mountain range. Now, most of the trails when you are out in the Woolsey Peaks region are not difficult whatsoever, not even the trail that we are on right now. And for the most part, you will never really need to be in four-wheel drive. But do take note that some of these trails were carved out by side-by-sides, so they do get just a little bit narrow, but eventually they will open back up to some absolutely scenic views. Now, at this point in the journey, we have been going for just a little over 2 hours now. And as I said before, it has not been strenuous whatsoever. But because it has not been strenuous, it has given me the opportunity to just slow down and take in the scenery. It was so beautiful to watch the sun coming up over the mountain range, cruising along this trail, and not really encountering anything.
Okay, now that we're kind of caught up to where we are now, presently, this is a really beautiful spot. First off, this whole trail so far in this area, I created a route out here I've been following. It's connected with several different trails. It has been really nice. It's been wide enough for the Jeep. There were a few sections that were really narrow, but man, I haven't seen a soul all morning, and it has just been so pleasant and peaceful. Nothing super strenuous. It's been really, really scenic, and this view right behind the camera here. Look at this view, guys. You have some of the peaks here, shoots all the way over there. It's just really, really beautiful out here. And it's been so nice. And the fact that this is, I don't know, roughly an hour, 45 minutes to an hour outside of the Phoenix Valley. Oh, it's great. However, you can see the intrusion of the pollution from East LA, Phoenix, coming through the mountains and attacking out here. But other than that, it has been awesome. But we're gonna keep going, guys, because we still have quite a bit to go. We are about halfway at this point. This is about halfway on the trail. The route is about like 50-ish miles, but we are getting there. And I'm feeling way better. If you saw the last video, I was, not feeling the greatest. Allergies have been bugging me. This is the second day. This is our last day here in Arizona. And I feel 10 times better than yesterday, which is 10 times better than it's been for a while. So it's been great. But let's get back in the Jeep, guys, because she's ready to go.
Now, as you're out here, there are a ton of gates that you have to open and make sure you close them once you go through. But it wouldn't be a typical adventure out in the desert without having a gate to go through. But as you are cruising along out here, it is absolutely stunning just how beautiful being an hour outside of the Phoenix Valley is. And as I was going along, like I said before, there was nobody around the entire trip. All I ever saw were the people that were out camping at the very beginning when I aired down. That was it. The whole trip, not a soul. And 95% of the whole route that I had made was a smooth road just like this one. And it just wound its way through the desert, back into the mountain range, and I got to see some absolutely incredible views. Now that I've been out in the desert for about 2 weeks now, this is the longest I've been out in the desert since I left Arizona many years ago. It was so much fun to just be able to go wheeling in a place where you could see the trail go for miles. You weren't looking through the trees to try and catch a glimpse of the view or to see what was coming up. You could just see it, which was awesome. I absolutely love the desert. There is something majestic about just going out solo and wheeling for the day, not seeing a soul, and just taking in the beauty that nature holds in the desert. Because a lot of the time in the summer, it's so hot you don't get to experience it. But in the heart of winter, it was such a great experience. Now, as I was cruising along this route, eventually I did pop up next to the train tracks that will start to take you into Phoenix, which was actually kind of cool. I was not expecting to run into the train tracks whatsoever, and I got to go under a few of these little underpasses a couple times. Now, I did have to look at the map to make sure I was going the right way, because you could go on either side of the train tracks, and I wanted to make sure I was on the correct route. Eventually, they all did just converge back into the same trail, but it was such an awesome experience to see it. And here in just a second, I come across about 3 miles of train cars that were just sitting on the train tracks, not hooked up to anything, and it was really cool just to be able to drive right next to them while I was out on the trails. As I went along the train tracks and was admiring all these train cars for about 3 miles that they were out there, the trail along the train tracks does kind of play tricks on you. You will go up, you will go down, but it'll open up to being flat just like this, and then there will be these little dips that are much deeper than you think that just appear, and as you're looking out over the hood of the Jeep, it just looks flat. So I did have a few times where I did hit one of those dips just a little too hard every once in a while, but it's just something to be aware of if you are out in this area, that when you are along the train tracks, there are a lot of divots, and you will cross quite a few washes along the way. As I say goodbye to the train tracks, we turn back onto the Agua Caliente Road, which will take me all the way back to where I began this journey and finishing out this absolutely fun adventure for the half day I had left in Arizona. Now, this trip down to Arizona was a success. 2 weeks in the desert, getting to enjoy warmer temperatures, get to see family, go wheeling with friends, and go explore places that I have never been to before in Arizona. I can't explain what a rare treat this was, because most of the time when I come down to Arizona, I'm in and out and there is no time for exploring whatsoever. So this was awesome. Now, my time in the desert isn't over. Here in a couple months, we will be back down here in Arizona and Southern California to do more wheeling in the desert and take advantage of it being winter, when it is much cooler in this part of the country versus back home in Colorado, where it'll be slap covered in snow and cold. I cannot wait, but you guys are just going to have to wait for those adventures to come.
Well, guys, if this spot doesn't look familiar, it should. This is where we were airing down at the very beginning of the video this morning, and it is now almost 11:30. We have been out here for 4 hours, which is great. It fit the bill. It was awesome. And if you guys can see it, that mountain range back there, we were through that entire area. This was such a cool area to come out and explore, and I will be coming back out here again when I come back to Arizona. This was awesome, and there were a ton of different trails out there that all connected and led to different places. I could see it on Gaia, all the areas that they were going, but I stuck to the trail that I designed, and it was super, super successful. And honestly, guys, I did it all in two-wheel drive. I never took it out of two-wheel drive. I didn't have to at all. It was so much fun. I can't express how fun this past week of wheeling has been. It has been so nice to get back out and be doing what I love doing all the time. But that ends this video and our adventure here in Arizona, which is okay, because we will be back and we have other places to go. This is just the kickstart to getting back out there and doing all the other things now that, you know, the Jeep is fixed. But thank you all so much for joining me on this adventure. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Why? Because you guys are what makes this channel happen, and it helps me out immensely. So go ahead, hit that button, guys. Otherwise, thank you all so much for joining me. Take care, and I'll catch you later.